Would you renounce your faith in God for death? Nobody can realistically answer that until their life is actually on the line. But a little girl named Anna didn't need to think about what her choice was. Anna was born into a humble Christian family in 1886 in China. Her mother, who was a devout woman, passed away when her daughter was just 5 years old. But despite the challenges of her family's poverty, she received an education and was fortunate to have Sister Lucy as her teacher, who continued the religious education that her mother had initiated. At that time, it was a common practice for families to arrange marriages for their young daughters. But 10-year-old Anna went against the custom, vowing to always stay pure, consecrating her virginity to the Lord. Tragically, on the 21st of July in 1900, Anna's village was infiltrated by an armed group associated with the anti-Christian Boxer Rebellion, a movement that specifically targeted Christians. They set the village church on fire and captured all of the Christians and gave them an ultimatum to renounce their faith or be killed. Terrified, her stepmother immediately denied Christ and pulled the little girl to follow suit. However, the little girl refused to denounce her faith and was then imprisoned with the other faithful. The sky was getting darker, so the bandits lit up a few candles that were stolen from the church. The little girl then told her companions to look at how beautiful the flames were and that the glory of heaven was 1,000,000,000 times more glorious than their beautiful flames. Throughout the night, she led everyone in the evening prayers, and the next morning, they were led to the execution ground. At the execution grounds, mothers and their children were killed, including a baby who was cut in half and thrown onto his mother's dead body. The head bandit then stood in front of Anna and told her to leave the church. But Anna still refused and told him that she was a Catholic, will never deny God, and that it'd be better if she died. Extremely angered, the bandit cut off a piece of flesh from her left shoulder and then asked her again to leave. But again, she refused. The bandit then raised his axe and cut off her left arm. But the little girl still knelt there, holding her hand towards heaven, and with a smile, she said the door of heaven was opened and started whispering Jesus' name repeatedly. The 14-year-old then extended her neck, and in a flash, her head rolled down to the ground. An eyewitness stated that after she had her head removed, she was still kneeling very straightly and did not fall down until a bandit kicked her body. After the execution was over, the bandits put the bodies of 10 martyrs together and covered them with dirt. 15 months later, on November 6th in 1901, the faithful dug the bodies out for a proper burial, believing that the bodies must have corrupted beyond recognition. But to the surprise of many, the bodies were incorrupt. They all looked as if they were alive. All those present exclaimed that it must be a true miracle. The little girl's funeral was very solemn. The faithful venerated her as a saint and prayed to her for miraculous cures, which she granted many times. It was also miraculous that her own family all repented. Her grandmother, stepmother, and father all returned to the Catholic faith. Decades later, on the 22nd of February in 1955, Pope Pius XII officially recognized her martyrdom, venerating her as a hero of faith. She was beatified 2 months later and finally canonized a saint in 2000. In addition to being a patron saint of China, she is also considered the patron saint of the innocent and the youth. Her story serves as a reminder of the importance of standing up for one's faith, even in the face of great adversity, making her a true example of love and devotion.